Imagine a world, right, where you could invest in certain cryptocurrencies and never pay a single cent in capital gains tax. Sounds like a dream for any investor, doesn't it? Well, today on the deep dive, we're going to take a really close look at exactly that. We're talking about recent discussions, potential impacts of a proposed U.S. tax policy on the whole crypto landscape. This deep dive, it's all about understanding the nuances, how a specific policy could reshape where crypto projects are based, and really critically, how you, the investor, might engage with them differently. Our main source for this is an article from the Tangent blog. It's titled Top US Based Crypto Coins and Tokens in August 2025, and it's by Patrick Decoding. Now, it's really important we set the stage here. Our source talks about a proposal made by a political figure, Donald Trump, and there's an alleged confirmation by Eric Trump mentioned too. We want to be absolutely crystal clear. Our goal is just to explore the content, the implications based on what's in the source material, transparently. We are not endorsing, not taking a stance on any political stuff, any viewpoints. We're just here to convey the information as presented. So, what are the big questions we're tackling? We'll try to demystify capital gains tax itself. We'll get into what exactly defines a US-based cryptocurrency in this whole context, explore what this proposed policy could actually mean for you as an investor, and yeah, of course, we'll shine a spotlight on some of the top US-based coins making waves right now.
Okay, with that set up, let's really dive into the details of this proposal and what it could mean for the world of digital assets.
It's definitely a significant proposal. I mean, one that could really shift the center of gravity in the crypto space. The core idea, as suggested by President Donald Trump, it's about eliminating capital gains taxes, but only on cryptocurrencies issued by U.S.-based entities. And our source points to an alleged confirmation from Eric Trump back on January 25, 2027, basically saying, yes, U.S.-based projects would be exempt, but non-U.S.-based projects, they'd face a 30% capital gains tax.
Wow, 30%. That's a huge difference. So is the motivation just a tax break? Or is there like a bigger strategic game being played here?
Oh, it's definitely strategic, yeah. The stated goal, according to the source, is really to stimulate innovation within the domestic crypto industry and position the United States as, a leading hub for crypto development and investment. Think of it like a direct economic nudge, an incentive to bring more of that crypto ecosystem onshore, trying to attract talent, attract capital that might otherwise head elsewhere.
Okay, yeah, that makes the intent pretty clear then. Now, for a lot of people, capital gains tax, it's a term we hear, but maybe it's still a bit fuzzy. For our listeners navigating this stuff, what exactly is it and how does the IRS treat crypto right now?
Right. So capital gains tax, basically it's a tax on the profit you make when you sell or exchange a capital asset. That could be stocks, real estate, or, yeah, in this case, cryptocurrencies. In the U.S., the IRS classifies crypto as property. That's key, which means any profit from selling it, exchanging it, even sometimes spending it, is subject to this tax. Now, the rate you pay depends on how long you held the asset, held it over a year. That's long-term capital gains. Generally lower rates, maybe 0% up to 20%, depends on your income. But hold it a year or less, that's short term. And those gains get taxed at your ordinary income tax rates, which, can be significantly higher.
Okay, got it. Long-term versus short-term makes a big difference. So understanding that tax framework, the next really crucial piece is defining what counts as US-based crypto under this proposal. It can't just be like any coin you buy on a US exchange, right?
No, exactly. Not at all. For a crypto to be sort of made in the USA in this specific context, our source says it has to be issued by a company that's registered and operating within the United States. So the entity behind the coin needs to follow U.S. regulations, contribute to the domestic economy, that kind of thing. Under this proposal, only cryptos meeting that very specific criteria would get the tax break, which, as you can imagine, creates a really powerful incentive for companies to set up shop here or make sure they are set up here. What's really interesting is how clearly this proposal tries to define and, well, boost domestic crypto development. It moves beyond just labeling crypto as property. It directly ties it to national economic benefit.
Yeah, I can absolutely see the incentive there. That's very clear. This sounds like a potentially massive deal for investors.
Right.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, trying to navigate these digital waters? Let's break down the potential upsides, the benefits, but also maybe touch on some of the concerns our source brings up.
Okay, the benefits first. They're pretty compelling, honestly. If this policy actually happened, investors could trade, sell, maybe even spend U.S.-based crypto without owing extra tax on their profits. That could make investing in these specific assets a lot more profitable. And maybe even encourage wider use, for everyday stuff, not just trading. It would almost certainly boost liquidity and demand for these U.S.-based assets. could strengthen the domestic markets quite a bit.
That sounds like a significant advantage, definitely. But you mentioned concerns. Our source flags potential market imbalances. This isn't just a simple win-win situation, is it?
No, it's definitely got complexities. The source acknowledges that, look, a lot of crypto projects, maybe even many of the big ones, developed offshore. Why? Well, partly because of historical uncertainty around U.S. regulations, or maybe feeling it wasn't friendly territory. So this new policy could create a bit of an uneven playing field, potentially disadvantaging those global projects that build elsewhere. But on the flip side, it could also trigger a big strategic shift. You might see international projects thinking, hey, maybe we should register or move operations to the U.S. to get this tax break. If that happens, yeah, it could really solidify the U.S. as a major global hub for blockchain innovation. Could reshape the whole map.
Okay, to make this more concrete, let's look at who's actually in this Made in the USA category right now. Our source gives a really interesting list of top US-based cryptos by market cap as of August 2025. It's kind of eye-opening to see the range of projects already fitting this description. Anything jump out at you from that list?
Yeah, what stands out to me is the mix. You've got these established, almost foundational projects alongside some much newer, maybe more ambitious ones. It suggests the U.S. crypto scene is maturing. It's not just about speculative meme coins, though there's that too. Like, take XRP, Ripple, launched way back 2012 by David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, Arthur Brito, backed by U.S.-based Ripple Labs, Inc. Its whole purpose is fast, cheap international payments, mainly for banks and financial institutions. Its longevity and focus on that specific practical use case makes it a key player.
Right, established. And then on the more, let's say, cutting-edge side, there's Solana, SOL. Launched March 2020. The company, Solana Labs, is US-based, founded by Anatoly Yakovenko. Solana is known for being super fast, right? High-performance blockchain, handling tons of transactions because of its proof of history thing. Makes it a strong platform for scalable dApps.
Definitely. And then you have USD coin, USDC, absolutely vital piece of the puzzle. Launched SEP 2018. It's from the Center Consortium. That's a team up between Circle and Coinbase, both U.S. companies. USDC is a stable coin pegged tightly to the U.S. dollar. And critically, it's known for being audited, compliant with U.S. financial regs. A trusted bridge, really, between old finance and crypto.
Makes sense. Then there's Hedera Hashgraph, HBR, launched August 2018 by Hedera Hashgraph LLC, another U.S. entity, co-founded by Mance Harmon and Dr. Lehman Baird. They use that different consensus Hashgraph aiming for speed and security. It's another major platform player.
Right. And then maybe the most topical one, given the proposal's origin, the official Trump meme coin, launched January 17, 2025. Entities linked to Donald Trump, including CIC Digital LLC. It's an interesting example of politics directly meeting crypto, and obviously U.S.-based by its very nature.
Yeah, that one certainly stands out.
And there are others focused on infrastructure, like Filecoin, FIL. Mainnet launched October 2020 by Protocol Labs, US-based, founded by Juan Benet. Filecoin's goal is decentralized storage, basically letting people rent out hard drive space, a core piece for Web3.
We also see things like Render Token, Render, from Otoy Inc., a U.S. cloud graphics company, decentralized GPU rendering, and WorldCoin, WLD, from U.S.-based Tools for Humanity with its ambitious goals around UBI and biometric ID.
Yeah, and don't forget Gala, GLA from Gala Games, founded by Eric Schiermeier, co-founder of Zynga U.S. company, blockchain gaming, player assets, or Zcash, CC, launched back in 2016 by the U.S.-based Electric Coin Company, focused on privacy and transactions.
It's a really diverse list. Payments, platforms, stablecoins, storage, rendering, gaming, privacy, even political meme coins. It definitely shows the breadth of what's already considered US-based. But let's circle back. Our source makes a really important point about the bigger picture. It says it's unlikely that users will completely stop using cryptocurrencies that are not issued in the United States. What does that really imply for the global giants?
It means basically they're not just going to disappear overnight. Think about the really established names like Cardano or Ethereum. They have huge global communities, strong established use cases, tons of liquidity tied up in them. It's just highly improbable they'd be abandoned purely because of a U.S. tax policy, even one as attractive as this might seem. A lot of investors, remember, they prioritize the project's fundamentals, the tech, the level of decentralization, maybe more than just tax benefits tied to one country.
That's a crucial distinction, yeah. For many in the crypto space, it's not just about the bottom line tax-wise. There's a really strong value placed on decentralization, on global access, things that might override purely financial or national incentives, so they might stick with those big, globally distributed projects anyway, regardless of tax status in the U.S.
And this leads us right into the potential risks the source mentions. Things like regulatory hurdles and actually implementing a policy like this. It wouldn't be simple. The potential for unintended loopholes people might exploit. And, as we discussed, market distortions, possibly favoring U.S.-based projects unfairly over equally good, or maybe even better, global competitors. And it is so crucial to keep repeating. This is only a proposed idea.
Yeah.
No official law has been passed, nothing's set in stone. If it were to move forward, it would definitely need Congress to approve it. That could take months, maybe even years to actually implement. It's a whole legislative process.
Right. So for you, the listener, the takeaway seems clear for now. Keep an eye on legislative news, definitely. Stay informed, talk to tax professionals, understand how potential changes could hit your specific situation, your portfolio, diversify your assets, probably good advice anyway. And always, always keep detailed records of your crypto transactions. That's just essential for tax planning, regardless of policy changes. The landscape is just always shifting.
Yeah, then if we zoom out again and look at the bigger picture, this whole proposal really brings up a fundamental question, doesn't it? About the long-term balance between, say, national economic incentives on one side and the sort of inherently global decentralized nature of cryptocurrency on the other. It really makes you think about how those two forces interact and what kind of innovation each one truly encourages. Will this kind of policy genuinely create a domestic powerhouse, or will it just shift the playing field in complex, maybe unpredictable ways?
It's a fascinating tension. This whole deep dive into just one potential tax policy really highlights how fast the world of digital assets is moving, isn't it? Constantly bumping up against traditional finance, against government policy. It really makes you wonder, beyond the dollars and cents, beyond the financial incentives, what kind of innovation truly thrives best? Is it the kind nurtured by specific national policies, given preferential treatment? Or is it the kind that's allowed to just flourish in a truly borderless, decentralized space? Driven purely by the tech, by the community, by its own merit. Something to think about.